Okay, you guys, come on in because we gotta talk about this. Sean Diddy Combs sent 50 Cent death threats. Yes, guys, you heard that correctly. And I'm waiting for those men in the comment section who are desperate to get their cheeks clapped by Diddy to say, oh my God, he never sent him any death threats. He just sent the guy flowers. You guys are making a big deal out of nothing because I don't know what the heck it is that some men believe that Diddy is the greatest thing that has ever happened to mankind, and they have to bow down and worship him, and they have to tell lies in support of him when that is far from the truth. It can't be that you were surrounded by a conglomerate of people who are all now dead, you know? I mean, something has to be true at this point in time. How did we get here? Well, in case you guys have been living under a rock in a cave or in case you were without power, well, 50 Cent released a docu-series on Sean Diddy Combs and it's titled Sean Diddy Combs: The Reckoning. And it has been getting major positive reviews. The people have been just raving about it, loving it. Even people from all walks of life who would not normally chime into these discussions, they're saying, all I see is just something professionally curated here. It doesn't give a sense of malicious intent or anything like that. It tells the story of what truly happened. Many people are saying this is exactly what we've been hearing over the years. So as such, many people have been given 50 Cent, praises for this documentary that was carefully and thoughtfully curated. Now, ever since the word of the documentary was made public, Sean Diddy Combs and his legal team, they have been pushing back because initially they said, the documentary would jeopardize Diddy getting a fair trial. So they were able to push back on the documentary for some time. But the trial is over. Sean Diddy Combs has been found guilty on 2 counts of the Mann Act, that is engaging in transportation of people for the purpose of prostitution, only because he transported men. The woman never believed because as a woman, it's not okay for you to say yes, then no. No, it's wrong. Because even if you realize that you were being psychologically manipulated and you realize the manipulation and you grow up to the consciousness of manipulative tactics and you say, no, I refuse to be manipulated anymore. I didn't see that this was all a manipulation, but I can clearly see it now. And I'm saying no to this manipulative tactics. The legal system, because it is still controlled by men, doesn't believe that a woman has such right. But you'll see a man, being, getting justice because it's the male prostitutes who got justice on this case. Not Cassie, not Jane Doe, not Capricorn Clark. None of the females got justice in this case. Absolutely none of them. The only thing the court did, to give Cassie some justice was to fine Diddy $500,000. And they're like, that's the maximum we can do because what happened to Cassie shouldn't have happened. So, her evidence and it was too overwhelming for us to ignore. So we're going to fine him $500,000 on that account. That's all the justice Cassie got on this case. I don't know if you guys have caught on to that, but in case you didn't before, at least now you know, right? So fast forward, Sean Diddy Combs found guilty, sentenced to 50 months. He has been pushing for the appeal, which was granted. The appeal date is coming up shortly. So not Diddy, but 50 Cent releases documentary. The internet is raving about it. A few things were being whispered here and there, and it was just mere gossips. But no, there's some, solidity to a lot of the things that we thought were allegedly. Some evidence was brought into the picture, and people were telling the stories of what they experienced on different timelines, and we can just put it all together, and we literally saw how 2 men, two of the greatest, people in the music industry were brought to their death. How their death was carefully orchestrated. So 50 Cent has been getting a lot of praises and credit. Diddy's legal team has been filing back-to-back paperwork to shut down this documentary and get it removed from Netflix. However, they haven't been successful so far because, as I've said, ain't no way the court is going to pull this documentary. This documentary is evidence for the court because there are still some loose ends that the legal system needs to tie up as it relates to Biggie Small and Tupac's murder, and this documentary is solidifying a lot of the results of the investigation. You have investigators who worked on Tupac and Biggie's, death. They are, a part of this documentary. So ain't no way on planet Earth the court is going to shut down this documentary. I believe Diddy has woken up to the reality of that, and as such, he has sent 50 Cent funeral arrangement flowers. The flowers were given, specific details of arrangement. You look at the flowers, someone is not saying congratulations. Like if you look at it, you see casket. When you look at the bouquet of flowers that Diddy sent 50 Cent, you see casket. You see a funeral arrangement bouquet. And 50 Cent knew what it was because 50 Cent is street coded. He's nobody's fool. He's a big troll, but in the midst of him being a big troll, we know 50 Cent is street coded, like for real. The guy has been shot 9 times and he has escaped a few other bullets in the process as well, right? So 50, we know his story, where he's coming from. So we know that 50 is street coded and as such automatically, like he knew what was up, but he's going to share it with the world, right? So 50 Cent shared it on his Instagram page. He was like, what kind of gay shit is this? Diddy sent me flowers at Club 11, LOL. Why all the foreplay? Get busy. I'm stupid. But even though he's saying, he's stupid, he's not, because he's saying, why all the foreplay? Get busy. So he's telling Diddy, listen, dude, I know what you're doing here. Why beat around the bush? You're telling me you're going to come for me. Why are you beating around the bush, fool? Just come for me, because since you're that bad and you're threatening my life, why are you taking all the shortcuts and going around corners? If you're going to come for me, just come for me, right? That's what 50 is saying in his post. But, sarcasm is 50 Cent's best skill, in case you guys have missed it. And he's like, I'm stupid, because 50 Cent is saying, mother effer, if you think I'm scared of you for a second, you have a next bet coming, because I'm not afraid, So that's what 50 is saying. And then in the comment section, he says, a warning, I'm 90s grimy ninja. You don't warn me. LOL. Like 50 is saying, like, bitch, be for real. 50 Cent is literally calling him a bitch at this point. 50 Cent is like, be for mother effing real. You think that I didn't know that my life has always been in danger before now with you, and now that I've released this documentary, you're telling me something that I already know. Like 50's like, be for mother effing real. I'm 90s grimy. Like 50's like, you don't remember who 50 is back in the streets in the 90s. Remember who who I am from in the 90s, dude. In the 90s, I was like, 50's letting him know, dude, I was out in the street in the 90s. I was doing things in the 90s. So, what the hell are you up to, right? No, there were so many people in 50's comment section. There were people from funeral parlors telling 50, I work at a funeral parlor. So one comment specifically, let me get to it. The person says, this person is Duncan Hines. I'm a funeral director in Baltimore. Get the strap. This is a funeral arrangement flowers. That comment has over 29,000 likes. Another person said, we ain't gotta tell a ninja who been shot 9 times to stay safe. More like stay dangerous. 50 will be fine. 20,000 likes. No. this is the thing. We all know that Diddy is the devil's advocate. We know it. We see the transformation on the guy. Like, I've been looking at Diddy's images and you can tell when, and I said it, and I've been saying it to you guys that Diddy has stepped out of his body a long time ago, and there's an entity that resides in that man's physical. That's not Diddy. And when Diddy stepped out of his body, you could see the change in the face. If you look at Diddy's photographs over the years, that's not aging, because ain't no way a guy goes from being a handsome dude to a ugly motherfucker because of aging. Like, that doesn't happen. But you could literally clearly see where the guy went from being a handsome, attractive dude to a ugly, disgusting motherfucker. If you look at his photographs, you could literally see the transformation. So I don't know who he thinks he's hitting, because if the public could see it, I don't know why he thinks that 50 Cent is like the one or the two. And he's out here sending threats to 50. And this is what he did to the people who orchestrated his takedown, because did he believe that he was so untouchable? He believed that he was at a place where he has mastered everything and he had the smartest move, he had the best move, but he has no idea, it seems, that he's still in the red. He still thinks that he's so mighty. He still thinks that he's so powerful that he's doing, this. But people are just laughing at him because, I mean, anyone who is paying attention at this point, he can pay a few goons here and there. But I mean, the people who call the shots, really, they can do a Jeffrey Epstein on him any minute now. So he needs to realize that he's in far more danger than what 50 Cent is in. But if we're being honest as well, how many people did we observe losing their life the moment that the investigation started against Diddy? Wasn't it 4 or 5 people who just mysteriously died when they started investigating Diddy? So, like, who does this dude think he's kidding, But people were like, okay, did he charge his flowers to Biggie, And people are saying, Diddy is going to make 50 Cent go harder. No, let me tell you something about 50 Cent, which many people do not know. No, 50 Cent is a troll, and 50 Cent has trolled a lot of people on the internet, right? But this is different. What Diddy is doing here, he thinks that he is declaring war. He's declaring war on 50 Cent. But what Diddy is doing here, he's pulling attention to himself, and he's making all his enemies, even the one who are carefully orchestrating his takedown, reconsidering their stance on him, and they are about to one up on him like he never can imagine. Like, 50 Cent is not even ready to retaliate. 50 Cent is going to retaliate, but 50 Cent is not yet ready. 50 Cent is going to give it about a year, maybe 6 months, and 50 Cent is going to come with something that is just going to shake him to his core. He's not ready for what 50 Cent is coming with. And I do believe that 50 Cent has that backup plan. It could already been, completed. But there's another project from 50 Cent. And if you guys think that this documentary is something, 50 Cent has something else up his sleeve, if you know how 50 works. And 50 Cent was just holding on to it because 50 Cent knows he's going to react. And 50 Cent is about to say, since you think you're such a tough guy and you call all the shots, and you want to be God, I'm going to show you you're not God, But Diddy is a demon. That man is an entity. Diddy has stepped out of his body long ago. And if you look into his eyes, if you look on his face, you can literally see it. You can see the transformation over the years. And that's not just drugs. That's not just drugs, because we've seen a lot of druggy. And Macy Gray tells us that she does drug. It's what she does to take the edge off. She's a hippie. And we don't see Macy Gray looking like a entity in her face. But Diddy he's out here looking like an entity. It literally shows in his face. And when you hear every pastor saying, when you look at that man's eyes, you literally can see the devil. It can't be no way so many of us are making up that story. You look into that man's eyes, it's just black. Cassie said the same thing. Jane Doe said the same thing. So ain't no way so many of us could be just delusional. Ain't no way. And this is a mess that Kanye West is supporting. Kanye needs to stay away from Diddy because already, I mean, like, sometimes I want to slap Kanye up the head, like, dude, what are you thinking? You know? But Kanye West is nobody's fool, anywho. He's just too kind, too caring, too forgiving, and he needs to just cut it out. But I mean, if this doesn't solidify for a lot of people that Diddy is everything that Cassie says he is and a whole lot more, I don't know what else will solidify that for you guys. But 50 ain't the one, neither is he the two to mess around with. Diddy thinks that he's bad and he's bad boys for life, and he thinks that he's in control of everything, and he thinks that he's gonna win everything, but he somehow has not been paying attention to universal laws. Whatever power you use it to, the very same power that you use, however you use it, it's going to come back and repay you a visit. So, you know, the scale has to be balanced. The energy has to be balanced. And I don't know when that fool is going to wake up to that. But if he doesn't, sooner or later, he will. Sooner or later, he will wake up to the fact that he's not as powerful as he thinks in his head. You know, I don't know what's going on. Well, actually, we all know what's going on with that dude. He's just a entity, a possessed human being. But that's all I have to say about that for this video, guys. We're going to talk some more in the comment section. Peace.